Love is the natural state between you and your specific person. And this, you know what this is. This is an apple. Now, I got a question for you. I actually have a couple questions for you. Would you say that this is the natural state of an apple? And you can comment your answer down below or say it out loud. Pause this video. I know it's a really tough question, but is this the natural state of an apple? And you're going to say, well, yeah, of course it is, Kyle. But what if I broke it in half? Is this now still the natural state of an apple? Now, this question may be a little bit easier. You're going to say, well, no, that is not the natural state of an apple. It isn't just always cut down the middle like that. And I would have to wholeheartedly agree with you on that. And so my next question is health our natural state? Would you say being in proper health is our natural state? And most of us are, again, I know I don't have an apple out here to show you another example, but we're going to say health is the natural state of who we are. And illness or unhealthiness, that is an unnatural state. And as soon as we observe it, we take action or we do something to bring us back to that natural state, right? Of health, from illness to health. So then, maybe you know where I'm going with this. Is happiness and love our natural state? Now, here's where we're going to get diverging answers, right? But I'm here to tell you that if we can understand love and happiness is your natural state in the same way that it is for this apple to be whole right here and right now, and for our health, you are going to see your specific person manifestation flood into your reality. And I actually have a success story talking about this later that came within, I think it was a couple hours actually. I was going to say the same day, but it came within a couple hours. So just think about that. Anytime our health fluctuates, we do stuff to get it back. But what about our happiness? Is it normal for us to go from happy to sad to happy again to sad again to angry again to upset all within the same day? And we'd say, well, yeah. Is it okay to go healthy to sick to healthy to sick to healthy to sick all in the same day? Or is it normal for this apple to just spontaneously break in half and then go back together and then break in half again, right? In that case, we say, well, no. So then why do we feel happiness and love are any different? Why do we feel that that's not our natural state? Why do we feel with our specific person the natural state is not being together and we have to force and change it into being together? Do you see the illusion that's happening? Like, again, take this apple, for example. If it was broken open, right? Probably, I mean, for us, delicious, but for the apple, probably doesn't feel the greatest, right? If it was under the illusion that this is its natural state and it needs to be like this, that's anxiety inducing, overthinking, right? But to know that it's only cut because of some outside force taking it or imbalancing it, disharmonizing it, then we know naturally, inherently, wholeness in the literal sense for this apple is its natural state. And that's our natural state. And that's your natural state with your specific person. And it only then is this disharmony that makes us feel like we are not whole. And us with our specific person isn't supposed to be the most perfect relationship, because it is. You, in your end state, imagine you being with your specific person. You imagine it being very abundant, very positive, very amazing, right? All words that you would describe your end state. And so anytime we misalign with that, we want to do and take action or get into the state, get into the feeling to return back to that. And I know at first this may not seem like the easiest thing to comprehend or bring in or to act out, because most of the time we think the natural state is chaos or disorder or unloveliness or anger, anxiety, things like that. But that, in the same way, the healthy person feeling sick is a disorderly thing or an unnatural thing. That's the same thing with our feelings or our state. So you are, again, naturally happiness. You are naturally love. And no one can ever take that away from you. And it is kind of crazy that we ever get into the illusion that we're not. Because when we think this way, we end up just reiterating the same thing, the same states, the same actions, and the same outcomes with our specific person. It feels like we then are inevitably going to do the same thing over and over again, have to deal with the same problems with our specific person. But that's just not the case, right? Like the apple. Again, the apple, if it is under this illusion that it's broken, it could have this illusion that it could never be whole. But that's not the case at all. The crack is not its normal state. And I know it feels hard to imagine the apple returning back to the, look, there's not even a crease in it anymore. But basically, it feels hard to imagine the apple going back to it being whole. But you can, okay? In the same way, the apple is a metaphor, you guys. So yes, we could assume this apple to be whole again, but you are a being and you are in control of yourself being cut or not in half. And so when we get rid of this illusion, you're going to find that whatever outcomes and manifestations that happen with you and your specific person get 1 billion times better. Like I'm saying, like literally 1 billion times better. Because then we're going to see anytime we get out of the state, it doesn't become our natural and habitual way of living. And what I mean by that is, and I know I'm kind of reiterating myself, but this is a super powerful concept if you can fully get it. When we're not out of the state, we usually identify with that. Now, how have you been identifying with that? I was gonna say, how many of us have identified with that? Seriously, think about it. Do you feel you identify with the state of being unloved or unhappy or neglected or worried or in anxiety, overthinking? Do you feel like you identify with that? And that's like an easy state to get into or a natural state. So there's the illusion. If you said yes, that's the illusion. And I don't want to get into a disempowering sense that we're supposed to be happy 24/7. No, I don't want to say that, because that could be, I can already think of people saying that. So I have to be happy 24/7. It's like, no, we have the capability of being so. Now, will we? Now, probably not. Okay. You will feel sad sometimes, right? You will feel anxiety. You're going to feel worried. That's okay. Don't think it's disempowering to say that we have the ability in our natural state as happiness, that means we're supposed to be happy or we're forced to be happy, or I know I kind of said this, but if we're unhappy, something's wrong. It just means we're not aligned with the state. Nothing is necessarily wrong. In the same way, is this apple wrong for being cut? And you'd say, well, no, I like it that way. I can eat it. Delicious. Well, I mean, I could eat it regardless, but how do you like to eat your apples? But now cut, so much more succulent, easy to eat. If it's in put it with some peanut butter, right? That'd be delicious. No one's saying that's bad or incorrect, but we just want to remember, if you can assume and identify with your natural state being whole, loved, happy, and abundant, then you're going to find yourself naturally returning to that. In the same way that we don't identify as being sick, it's kind of like assumptions are happening right here and right now. If you identified with being sick, you may find yourself sick more often than not, right? But if we heavily identify with being healthy normally, because we view sickness as incorrect. We don't really, I know this sounds weird to say, but we don't usually feel or think of negativity or unlovingness as being incorrect. We kind of think of how can I fix this, but we end up getting into the illusion of, this is my reality and I just have to deal with it, right? It's how it is. And that's usually the disempowering idea that most people bring. But I'll give you guys a success story that's going to massively explain how this can change. And it's the natural state is love. Because then if your natural state wasn't happiness, love, and abundance, then how could people manifest instantaneously, right? That doesn't make sense. But I got another awesome, amazing manifestation. So I'm going to put it up right here. So here's what the message says, and I'm going to go really into detail about it. Kyle, my specific person messaged me a text during our call earlier. It was an apology message about something he did. It was something quite disrespectful, but it's an apology and a text. So I would say the inflection of this text means that they kind of didn't like it, but that kind of confused me, right? They're like, oh, it was something quite disrespectful. Well, yeah, if something was not good with your specific person in the past and they're apologizing and you're seeing your reality change, that's awesome. That's literally fantastic. It doesn't matter what had happened. It's about what we're creating now. That's like saying, Kyle, I was learning how to play the guitar. I can play really, really good, but still a year ago, I kind of sucked at it. Okay. Okay. Right. I don't care what you did a year ago. This is your reality right now. And that led to you getting here where you are. So just think about that. SP messaged a text during our call. And so this call was not just any call. This call was my weekly, the free coaching that I was giving away for January. And I'm going to do it again, I think next month in February. But so just think of the power of this, of how in the call, having an intentional shift, an intentional change, an assumption, and obviously, because I speak about some even more ideas than I have in these videos. I know it's hard to believe, but even more intense, even more empowering in the calls because they're very specific. And so that caused her reality to change, right? And she saw the outcomes of this intentional shift happen instantly. And if you guys, quick side note, are ever like, I want to get these results because I want you to get these results. I'm doing this same thing and following along the January session in my memberships. So I'm actually doing a manifestation of my own. I want to manifest 10,000 success stories in these, so my January sessions and in my memberships. So if you guys want to join in, if it's okay with you, I want you to be one of the 10,000. So go ahead and click the become a member and you can watch the video of the ideas that I talked about, which this person then caused and manifested apology text right then and right there. But so if you want to check that out, link in the description, don't feel like you have to. So in this case, this text even, look at this message, says it was an apology message about something he did. It was something quite disrespectful, but it's an apology and a text. Think of the assumption that we're going with from this individual. Now, inherently, they're kind of giving the essence that naturally the relationship is bad and it has to get back to something good. I don't know if you guys are picking up on that. And so that I can sense in this message. But really, if we view it differently, and that's probably why they're giving the essence that it was something really, really bad, but an apology and a text. I know, like they're acting like it's not the awesome best thing that could ever happen because that's the best thing that could ever happen. If you're watching this, that is absolutely fantastic and awesome. Don't get into the illusion that it's not, because that is a fantastic manifestation and you're going to do it too. Okay. So the trick is, the essence of this message is that naturally, as I mentioned, the relationship is not good and they need to do stuff to bring it up. But what if instead we thought about the apple? Now, every time you guys look at apples, you guys are going to think about this. So you're welcome, because now you're going to be reminded of this and you're going to manifest a million times faster. But think about the apple. We're assuming in this message, oh, you can't even see the apple actually. This is the apple. Maybe I'll put it over here. This apple, we're in the assumption that we're broken and we need to be fixed, and that's our natural state. Not true. This manifestation, natural state, is not that. It's really good. It's really abundant. Maybe something happened that caused this like disrespectful act, but that's a behavior, not a character. And I think you guys have known that whenever we're in our reality, we usually judge ourselves by our character and everyone else by their behavior, meaning that we judge someone else's behavior as who they are, but we don't judge ourselves in that way. And so we'll judge the behavior of our specific person as who they are as compared to who they actually are, right? And that's kind of what we do in our relationship. We judge the immediate action as how it always has been and totally forgetting how amazing it naturally is. An example of this would be, imagine if someone you know that's always on time shows up late once. Do you expect them or assume them to be a late person? You'd say, well, no, because never mind. To keep this example, you would not think of them as a late person, right? You'd be like, they're always on time. They were just late today. Their natural state is on time. They were just late in this moment in time. So I want you to think about that, okay? Why then do we not think that way about the relationship, right? In this example of the success story, the relationship is, I guarantee you, naturally loving, abundant, and positive. Just maybe something happened. And this too is a perfect bridge of events. It's mind-blowing to me or confusing. And maybe obviously I'll get more information from it because I already been texting back and forth, but because I'm letting them know that this is an awesome, amazing manifestation. But like, why are we in this illusion? Your reality, your life is abundant. It is positive. It's naturally great. We get into this illusion though, that it's not. And I can actually give you another quote that actually, let me check though. I might have included it in my, all right, perfect. I did not include it in my video for tomorrow. So I'm going to tell you guys right here and right now. So here's the quote from T.S. Eliot that says, "And the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." So I'll say that one more time so we can really get into it. "And the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." So this is giving light and aspect to your reality right now is the best one you could ever imagine. We just don't believe or know that. That's why we don't experience it. And I can tell you from experience, that quote is so true. Anytime I've gone off the path of what that quote means and what it is, I felt distracted, fuzzy, fuzzy in my mind, like I'm angry, resentful, upset, annoyed, right? And anytime I remember, oh yeah, we're not trying to get anywhere. We already are the thing that we are. It gets this overwhelming abundance and positivity. And this also, so think of that quote as well, naturally, then you are happiness. I don't even care. You can debate with me as much as you want in the comments. You are happiness. You are love. Try it. I would love for you to tell me why that's not true, because I will tell you exactly why every aspect and every ounce of everything you could ever imagine, you've ever experienced, is naturally loving. And again, I almost wanted to make a video because I am very confident in these ideas, and I am very confident you can be with your specific person. And I almost wanted to make a video or a live bringing in anyone who disagrees. Anyone who disagrees that they can't get what they want. Seriously. And you see the comments too. I see you. When you comment, I don't think I can do it. My SP hates me. Someone commented like, oh my gosh, it's been 10 years since I manifested. You can do it. We just need to stop identifying with the negativity. And again, I would love for you to disagree with me on this. Not in a misunderstanding way, in a way that I feel I can help you totally understand that you are love, your abundance, your happiness. That's what all my videos promote. And you know it. And that's why you're watching this. You know for a fact. If you disagree with that, again, I don't care what you did in the past. I don't care what was your outcome experiences with you, your specific person, trauma, things like that. You are inherently a loved, abundant, and positive individual. And it's okay to not believe it, because I'll believe it for the both of us right now. And I'll wait. When you're ready, I will be here and ready to help you. No matter how much you disagree with that statement, I'll be here and I'll be waiting for you, okay? And then when you're ready to understand and get into your true power, I'll be here and I'll help you do it. Literally take as much time as you want. Disagree with me as much as you want. You can say whatever. I'll tell you exactly why whatever you tell me means that you are a loving and abundant individual. And I would honestly say, comment it down below. Comment your thoughts, your beliefs, your ideas down below. If you have any fears, again, it's the apple. Think of the apple. You are not broken. You are not. This is not you. I mean, it may feel like you right now. This is not your natural state. This just is not your natural state. You are whole and you were made that way. And you can return. I know the metaphor makes it seem like we aren't this apple, but we can return back to this state anytime we want. The apple naturally wants to return to the state in the same way that you and your internal senses, your internal feelings want to return back. This is who you are. You can't ever change that. I'm sorry, but you're loved and abundant. You can't change it. You can't. I know it sounds funny to say, but you seriously, as much as you want to be non-loved, non-abundant, unhappy, disappointed, you can't, right? You can feel it for the moment. That's a sickness of who you are, because how did I word it too? Here's a good way to word it. So whenever we're sick, we give attention to our body, right? But then anytime our mind is sick, like unhappiness, non-abundance, we usually just ignore it or think that, I guess that's how it is, right? No, give the attention back to your mind. Literally, that's the creator of your whole reality. Give the attention back to your mind. And this is actually something I've discussed, not at this length before, I discussed at my coaching sessions, in everything, that when you're not feeling good, you don't have to affirm, you don't have to visualize, you don't have to journal, you don't have to do anything that doesn't make you feel good. If you focus on your internal state, you are going to find you return back to the state basically instantly. And the way I snapped that apple open, you guys remember? You are going to return back to that state basically instantly, okay? And or maybe I didn't word that correctly. Anytime you feel out of the state, focus on your state, okay? That's what you want to do. Anytime you feel bad, you don't need to, I know this is going to be news. You don't need to text your specific person more. You don't need to debate with them why what they did was wrong or bad. You have to focus on you and your internal state, because that's what's reflecting. How many times, and it's almost like something I still kind of have a hard time with this sometimes when I'm like not feeling the greatest. Arguments, debates, unless they're ones of me proving to you that you're abundant and positive, usually they never end up happy, right? Two people debating of who's right and who's wrong, they never end well. And that's like, so whenever you approach or see your specific person do something you don't like the success story, if I still have it up, you can rewind to it. Like the person mentioned, it was something super disrespectful that happened. Okay. It doesn't do us any good so this person focused on their internal state more than anything else, and that's how they get that response. The more you attempt to logically explain it and say, well, this is why you did this wrong, this is why you should do this is why blah, 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 that's our conscious mind attempting to control our reality, when really our subconscious is what is controlling, creating, and we're all abundance, but is like creating this abundance around you. So the more we attempt to logically change and force would be a good word for this, because obviously we're going to be acting through divine guidance. But the more we try to force our reality, the less it makes us feel good, right? And that's also, so kind of connecting another idea, if you wanted to, connecting an extra idea that whenever we're in the state, all of our actions are perfect, right? And whenever we're not in the state, all of our actions are not. Think of being really healthy, right? And doing something. It ends up pretty good, right? Pretty fantastic. You can do your best at the thing. When you try it when sick, how do you feel? Horrible, bad, you get bad results, right? That's the same way with our feelings. When we're feeling non-whole, right? Our natural state is abundance. When we're feeling like this broken open apple, anything we do isn't gonna be whole, right? But as soon as we return back to our whole state, perfect, right? Well, I mean, I just ate it and it became unwhole, but you know what I mean? Like when you're whole, everything works out in your favor. When you're in the state, everything is in the state. Think of the apple almost as reflecting on its external reality, which I know sounds funny, but when it's whole, it sees everything as whole. Everything comes to it as whole. When it is broken, it sees everything as broken. It sees everything as non-whole. Everything comes to it as broken. But as soon as you return it back, we're right back to seeing everything as whole. And Neville Goddard actually talked about this. I don't remember what book. If you guys do know, comment it down below. He talks about creating and writing a book in which he specifically wants to see the world through pure eyes, right? He wants to see the world like, how would Jesus or God see the world? And because he has this instance that everything you see, if you see something negative in your reality, then it is just a reflection of you. And when you see through pure eyes, nothing negative exists. And I'll tell you, this is possible 100%, because and I'll give you a quick example. And so it's, again, the way that the whole apple sees everything as whole. The broken apple sees everything as broken. Think of you're on a highway, okay? And you're going to work, maybe. Someone cuts you off. You guys know where I'm going with this. You have two options. You can be the whole apple or the broken apple. The broken apple, seeing the negativity in our reality, would state, what a-hole, right? Would have a lot of bad things to say about this person. Screw them. They almost caused an accident. They're making me late, blah, 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 blah. That's the broken apple. The whole apple would see the same exact thing again, but this is how your mind instantly creates the purity of your reality, and you'll understand that everything negative in your reality is an illusion. You'll look at this person coming in and you'll say, oh my gosh, maybe they're late to work. I'm going to let them in, right? Like, I hope they make it to work on time. Maybe they are in a rush. They're not feeling well and need to make it into the hospital. It's a life-threatening situation. How do you feel then? Now you're like, yeah, I'll get right out. Cut me off as much as you want. If you're going to see maybe it's a husband seeing or any sort of spouse seeing their significant other in the hospital giving birth, right? It's like, go right ahead, cut me off all you want. Like 100%, as long as it's safe, I'm like, go on, I would support them in doing that 100%. But that's, again, the whole apple to the broken apple. Whole apple is seeing through pure eyes. And we took a situation that inherently wasn't positive or negative, and we can see it through purity. And even if, let's say here's the pure eyes coming again. Let's say even they are just late or they're just rude. They know not what they do. No one is just rude, and you could push it even back. Let's say they're just like, screw this guy behind me. I'm going to cut him off, blah, blah, blah. Do you think they just woke up like that, or something made them feel that way? And something in their reality kind of, maybe they having a fight with their specific person, right? Maybe they didn't get the promotion that they wanted. Like, this is then an essence of, oh my gosh, I feel for you. Like, take as much time as you need sort of idea. Whole approach and not a broken one. But obviously, so everyone in your reality then is a reflection of you. And that's kind of an insight of that. So if you see the world as not the greatest, know that it's an illusion of what you're thinking it is. It is fantastic. It's abundant. It's positive. We just need to shift our focus. And right when I said that, I don't know if you guys heard, the apple broke open. So I don't know if that's a perfect time or a sign that everything is perfect. Everybody comment down below something of you and your specific person, because if that's not a sign for me that you're going to manifest your SP. Again, you're going to be one of the 10,000 success stories in my memberships. So again, make sure to click the link if you want to join in on that, or again, see and get the same results or get the same insight that the person that manifested that same day and that success story got. If you do have any questions, hopefully you guys liked this video. I loved making it. I feel like it probably maybe got you in your feels, or maybe had you thinking like, oh my gosh. Hopefully it's a life-changing video. But let me know all of your questions, ideas, comments down below. If you did want to send me a personal question, if you just love this video, or you're having questions more about the memberships, or just wanted to tell me about your situation, a cool success story, a worry that you had, reach out to me at kyleaugustcoaching.com. I would literally love to hear from you. I know a lot of people think it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to bother Kyle. No, you're not bothering me. I do get a good amount of emails, so don't feel like I'm ignoring you if I don't respond instantly. But I literally love hearing from you, hearing your successes, helping you out in your worries. Everything is amazing. So reach out to me if you want, or if you do join the membership, you could probably, you can comment on like posts and stuff. So, or on my video, you'll instantly get access to the video. So go to my lives. I go live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I was thinking about doing a book club. So what do you guys think about book club in the membership of my book, Manifest Your Specific Person? I think that would be really, really cool. Let me know your comments and ideas on that. I might add that in. But if you do become a member and you want to see that video, as I mentioned, once you click in, go to my live section. I think it'll take you there automatically. And then you'll see it's an hour and 10-minute live where I discussed basically the way of manifesting by February 1st. So this is the first step. And so if you watch it, you can get caught up and then join with us this upcoming Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Or if you can't, that's when I'll be live and you can watch it whenever you want. But I definitely want to see you there. If you are enrolled, because I love your questions, because a lot of people do ask questions during it if they're confused, and because I love questions. More question everything, right? Question everything I say, because the more you have these questions and they're answered, the more you're going to understand it, and then you are going to manifest a million times faster. But again, that's my goal. If you do join the membership, the goal is February 1st, you're with your specific person, because I want you to spend Valentine's Day with your specific person. You know, if you don't manifest by the time, there's nothing wrong. It's perfectly okay. Everyone's natural, but that's part of my manifestation of the 10,000 manifestations. So check it out if you want. Again, don't feel like you have to. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching this whole video. If you're watching right now, thank you. You watched to the absolute end. And that is just some really good commitment. If you watch to the end, comment, watch to the end. I'm telling you to comment a bunch of stuff, but get those comments going, because the more you're in the state, the more you're doing it. If you seriously watch to the end, comment, watch to the end. I'll know you're an OG, okay? All right, but thank you guys so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.